Davis from Hempstead, New York, and this lightweight fight will be coming up shortly. We'll return to Caesars Tahoe in just a moment. 24-year-old Howard Davis against 28-year-old Johnny Lira, and you can see the weights. 137 for Lira, 134.5 for Davis, and Lira with a slight height advantage. They're both tall for lightweights. The reach goes to Howard Davis by an inch, and we are ready to go here in the state of Nevada. The 10-point must system in effect. Mandatory 8-count, 3 knockdown rule also all in effect. And the scoring is done by 3 judges, Dwayne Ford, John McSweeney, and Jimmy Olivas. The referee is Mills Lane.
Tim, keep your eyes open in this first round. This could be a key round, and I think just have a feeling something big could happen right now in this first round.
Johnny Lira in the white trunks with red trim, and Howard Davis with his back to camera at the moment, now circling to the left. And Howard Davis with a record of 13-1 with 5 knockouts. According to Ring Magazine, Johnny Lira, 19 victories, 1 loss and 1 draw, 12 knockouts to his credit. Both these fighters have lost only in championship bouts. Davis to Jim Watt for the WBC crown, and Johnny Lira losing by a knockout to Ernesto España, the former WBA champion. 29 years of age, from Chicago, Johnny Lira, and works with amateur fighters and is now one of the co-trainers of an unbeaten heavyweight, James Quick Tillis.
Tim, you know, Sugar Ray Leonard was so successful with that lateral movement, side to side, moving around quickly. I wonder if this is going to influence Howard's fight plan. You know, he fought the same kind of style as Leonard, always moving. Let's see if he stands around. Let's see if he does move.
CBS's agreement with Howard Davis, under which CBS paid Davis for bouts offered to CBS, whether or not they were broadcast, has now terminated. This will be the last Davis fight related to that agreement. Howard Davis on the left of your screen, and Johnny Lira.
I spoke to Howard Davis yesterday, and this is only the second fighter that he has fought that is taller than he is since he's been a professional. The last time he fought a fella that was taller than him was Norman Goines, and Howard was on the deck twice in that fight. Let's see if that height bothers him at all.
Well, that's a good point. It's interesting to have 2 tall lightweights like this, and the fact that Hilmer Kenty is tall, about 5'10.5". Of course, it's a great advantage at any weight. Thomas Hearn showing it in the welterweight division. Round 1 action from Caesars Tahoe. Under a minute to go.
Lira's landed 3 or 4 good, strong right hands to Howard Davis's ribs, so maybe he is trying to break those ribs that he's talking about, Tim.
Well, he said that with a smile. I suppose there was some malice attached and some just show of his personality. He's quite a personable young man. His co-trainers are Johnny Taco and Harry Wilson. Mario Di Fiore also working in his corner. Howard Davis, trained by his father, Howard Davis Sr. Jimmy Glenn and Ken Davis are his second. Right to the body by Lira.
That's that right hand I was talking about, Tim. It could prove effective. There it is again.
Final seconds of this first round. Howard Davis, born in Glen Cove, New York, lives in Hempstead out on Long Island, ranked number 3 by the WBC. His last fight on June 7th when he lost in the title chance against Jim Watt, the WBC champion. 1976 Olympic gold medalist, the 1972 World Amateur champion, 2 national AAU titles, 4 times a winner of the New York Golden Gloves. Had a terrific amateur career, has lost only once as a professional.
Tim, Howard Davis stands up between rounds, and I don't think that's a very good idea at all. Number 1, in a championship fight, he misses approximately 14 minutes of rest where he's on his legs. And number 2, I've seen plenty of fighters, they stand up during a round, all of a sudden they get hurt a little bit, they get a little tired, and they sit down. And it's a tremendous psychological edge for the other guy when he finally makes him sit down. I see no reason for it at all.
Lira got a good right to the body at the beginning of that last exchange, and that's been his best punch thus far. And when he landed in the first round, equally strong.
Davis is starting to get the range with that left jab, though, Tim. 3 or 4 good snappy jabs by Davis.
Come on, John, let's go.
Tim Ryan with Gil Clancy. This is round 2, scheduled for 10. An important lightweight bout. Both of these fighters hoping to get another title opportunity. They have each been there once before. came out on the losing side. Johnny Lira, last fight, September 10th, the first round knockout of Chico Rodriguez in Chicago.
Here's a case of where Lira is moving around, moving away, and Davis had been stalking him. Now he's back on his bicycle.
Lira landed the jab. Referee is Mills Lane from Reno. Judges who will do the scoring: Wayne Ford from Las Vegas, John McSweeney from Carson City, and Jimmy Olivas from Reno. All appointed by the Nevada State Athletic Commission.
Davis is boxing more flat-footed than I've ever seen him, and that may give him more punching power, Tim.
Just landed a good heavy left hook.
Well, he's actually flat-footed, looking to slip and looking to land a bomb.
Well, you heard him predict that he would stop Lira in 5 or 6 rounds, using mainly his right hand. Under a minute to go.
Come on, baby. Come on.
In this second round.
Notice Davis standing still. Never saw him do that before.
No.
Standing right there.
Johnny Lira on the right of your screen, Howard Davis on the left. Right hand lead by Davis landed to the ear of Lira as he turned away at the last second. Davis scored with that left.
Lira's starting to telegraph his punches.
We're coming to the end of round number 2. Valdizer today. We're unable to bring you the men's competition. That will be seen next week on the CBS Sports Spectacular. What you are missing today because of weather in France at Valdizer, a little too much snow apparently, and so they will be competing, finishing that race, and you will see it next week on the Sports Spectacular. This is round number 3.
And Lira really landed a bomb to Howard Davis's left side. If he keeps throwing that punch in there, Howard is really going to have sore ribs.
Davis jabbing effectively in the last flurry. Hasn't been able to keep Lira off. There he landed the right. Good right, straight right hand.
As I mentioned, Tim, Lira is starting to telegraph his punches. He's punching a little too wide. If he gets hit coming in, he's going to go.
Well, Howard Davis said he expected Lira to be right in front of him and that this would be a right-hand fight for him. Howard Davis.
Lira's on his toes and Davis is flat-footed. Now they're both flat-footed.
Come on, baby.
Johnny Lira has wins over Andy Gannigan, Larry Stanton, a common opponent. They both beat Larry Stanton, but not easily. Nobody beats Larry Stanton easily. Got a close decision with Davis. Lost to Lira after having Lira down twice in that fight. Stanton is in attendance at the fight today here at ringside.
Tim, matchmaker Johnny Bosch did a great job putting this fight together. Nowadays, when a fighter gets in the top 10, they just like to lay around and wait for a title fight. Here he has 2 guys rated in the top 10 in a key lightweight fight.
Lira ranked number 9 by the WBA, Davis number 3 by the WBC. Lira's title chance, August of '79. He lost in a 10th round knockout to Ernesto Espana and dislocated his jaw. He was out for 11 months recovering from that.
He says he wasn't mentally ready for that fight. I was there, and that was the case. He was in court the day before in a legal dispute, and his mind just wasn't with it. And he still gave Espana a real tough. Had him on a deck, as a matter of fact.
Under a minute to go in round number 3. The scheduled 10-rounder. Combination from Davis.
Starting to get the range, Tim.
Davis jabbing effectively now.
Lira's talking to him.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's saying. Hit me harder.
Under 30 seconds to go. Lira trying to get that right to the body again.
See, Tim, there's telegraphing a punch. He's winding up before he throws it. He's becoming the Chicago street kid right now.
Got that right to the body, but Davis countered with a right to the head. Final seconds of round 3. A little showboating by Lira.
side.
Howard Davis standing between rounds, as Gil Clancy pointed out. Johnny Lira just coming off the stool, and we are ready for round number 4.
Tim, both trainers in the corner told their fighters to be first. That means get off first. They can't both do it. Let's see which one listens better.
Well, Davis won the first lick at the beginning of this round, getting a good, solid left jab in. Howard Davis on the left of your screen. Johnny Lira now circling to the left.
There he is.
A little more movement from Davis now in round number 4.
He's starting to fight with more confidence, Tim. He's getting the range. He's very, very relaxed in there right now. But again, we can always expect the unpredictable from Johnny Lira, so we better not get too relaxed.
Good crowd on hand here in the Cascade Showroom at Caesars Tahoe. If you're wondering about the weather, as you saw, there is snow out here, but it's a beautiful, bright, sunny day and fairly warm. But they are skiing in this area. There's Lira on the attack, lands a combination, and Davis ties him up on the ropes.
He's out muscling Davis is what he's doing. He looks so much bigger and stronger than Davis.
Get it back, get it back.
2.5 pound weight advantage at 137. And just slightly taller.
Come on, John. Yeah.
Davis scoring, but Lira rallies right back and takes Davis into the Davis corner.
He winds up before he goes that right hand underneath him.
Come on, baby. Come on, John.
He's gonna get hit with a count if he keeps that up.
Come on, John. Be first. Be first.
Under a minute to go. Good left to the head from Davis. We're in the 4th round, scheduled for 10. Lira pressing the action.
Davis in the interview said we're going to see a lot of right hands from him. We haven't seen him so far, Tim. Maybe
No,
2
we
or 3
haven't.
in the entire fight.
I think his best punch was the right hand, but we haven't seen it very often. Lira scoring to the body again. Under 30 seconds to go, round 4. Both of these fighters hoping for a title opportunity. Gil pointed out both in the top 10 and risking their rankings in this fight. But going for it all, hoping to meet Watt or Kenty. Good left hand by Lira. The end of that flurry. Final seconds of round number 4. Right from Davis lands. Got a lead going. Come on. Jerry Cooney is here at ringside, currently the number 1 ranked heavyweight contender. And Cooney, a great fight fan. And there's the youngest of the Howard Davis family, the little infant here at ringside. WBA heavyweight champion Mike Weaver is also in attendance, and get a look at him as we go along. This is round 5, scheduled for 10.
Davis is a good fight. 2 good fighters.
Flat-footed right in the center of the ring, opening this 5th round.
Oh, maybe Davis is trying to live up to his prediction. What round did he say, Tim?
He said 5 or 6 rounds.
Get him, John. Get him.
Tough left hook thrown by Davis, but Lira able to get part of it on the glove.
Come on, John.
Tim, this is a tough fight to judge. It's a question of whether you like the counter-puncher or the rough, tough kid who's on you all the time.
Davis missed with that right. Lira got underneath. Bangs that right to the body. Even while he has scored to the body, he hasn't seemed to have been able to hurt Davis or back him up at all with that body attack thus far, but they could take their toll.
Davis is going to have sore ribs tomorrow, believe me. He's taking a lot of good shots down there.
Well, that's what Lira said he was going to do. Go to the ribs.
Get it, boss. Get it, boss.
And he's been doing it.
Come on, man. Jab out there.
Combination Davis. The left jab better than the following right.
Two more pounding right hands to the ribs by Lira.
Yes, his jab was short, but he followed through with his right anyway on the combination and landed the midsection and bangs there again.
He's becoming the Chicago street kid against him. He's forgetting about boxing.
Lira made an interesting comment to me yesterday. He said, I train my amateur kids differently than I fight myself. I teach them to be better boxers than I am.
He's not bad, Tim, believe me. Boxing and punching.
Under a minute to go in round 5. Good combination by Davis.
Get him on. You the boss. Hey, you the boss.
They're both showing signs of wear now, Tim. They're both a little tired. Both have their mouths open, gasping for breath. Both.
They have been busy for these first 5 rounds.
There goes that wind-up by Lira again. That would make me nervous if I was in his corner.
Push him out. Push him out.
Very little rest time. They've been throwing leather from the opening bell. Neither fighter damaged so far, but still says probably some sore ribs for Davis, and he landed a good right hand to the ear.
Another one.
Coming to the end of round number 6.
Be ready, John. Be ready.
Round 5.
Tim Ryan, Gil Clancy, live from Lake Tahoe. We are coming up with round 6. Howard Davis and Johnny Lira. Time permitting today, we're going to show you highlights from the light heavyweight championship WBC version. Matthew Saad Muhammad defending against Ladi Mwala of Zambia. If we've got time, you'll get to see some of that.
Tim, in Davis's corner, they said, stay behind that jab and put more pressure on him. So if he follows instructions, you're going to see him backing Lira up this round. Let's see what happens.
Remember, you World Cup ski fans, the men's competition snowed out at Val d'Isere today. We'll show you highlights of that next week on the CBS Sports Spectacular. Dick Stockton and Billy Kidd reporting. Left jab from Davis lands. We're in the 6th round of this scheduled 10-rounder. They have been busy fighters. They have landed a lot of leather, but neither fighter has been hurt as yet. Close fight as we see it thus far. Maybe a slight edge to Davis. Judging will be done by the 3 judges at ringside. Mills Lane, the referee, does not figure in the score.
Come on, let's show the world, John. Let's show the world. Come on. Show the world.
Johnny Davis on the right of your screen.
Show the world.
Davis is standing flat-footed, just walking around the ring, waiting to counter. Now he goes into his
There
dance.
you go.
Howard Davis up on his toes. Good combination, and that's the first one that kind of sent Lira backwards first time in the fight.
When Davis started to dance, Lira started the same thing, and that's not his fight. When Davis dances, he has to pressure him. He's not going to outdance Davis, and that's how he got nailed.
Davis really starting to hone in with that jab.
All right, John, go to work.
But what happens when Davis misses the jab, Lira has to counter with the hook, but he's not countering. Even when he gets hit, he has to throw that left hook off him.
Lira came up short there as Davis got away from it.
Davis just winked to his corner. I guess he knows something we don't. I think it's a pretty tough fight.
Under a minute to go. Maybe just winking at how smoothly he got away from that combination from Lira. His brother Kenny in the corner, his father Howard Davis Sr.
Come on, John. Don't waste no punches. Come on.
45 seconds to go and round 6. Davis has to feel a little more confident that he's landing that jab more often. It's been a good round for him. Less than 30 seconds remaining. Lira having difficulty now getting to the body of Davis.
Davis is very relaxed there. That's the way he should have been when he fought Jim Watt.
Coming to the end now of round number 6. Live from Lake Tahoe.
Come on, baby.
There is WBA heavyweight champion Mike Weaver. You saw him successfully defend his crown last month here on the CBS Sports Spectacular. A knockout victory over Harry Kutsia down in South Africa, and that was quite a show by the champion Mike Weaver. Interesting that Weaver and Cooney, the #1 contender, are both here at ringside today.
That's one of the fights I'd like to see, Tim.
Well, we just may in sometime in the near future. Howard Davis on the right of your screen, the black fighter, Johnny Lira from Chicago. White trunks with red trim, and Davis is very relaxed, as Gil has pointed out.
He's starting to frustrate Lira now, and the more angry the Lira gets, the worse he gets. He's got to get himself together.
Good combination from Davis. Really taking command now in the 7th round. Remember, Davis had predicted a knockout in 5 or 6. He didn't get it, but he's working on it here in the 7th. Oh, Lira. Oh, obvious, deliberate butt by Johnny Lira. He's being warned by the referee, Mills Lane, and that's the frustration you talked about, Gil.
Well, I said he was a Chicago street kid. He asks no quarter and he gives none. He has to remember he's not in the street. We have rules and regulations here.
Like to alert our stations along the line. We'll go to a station break at the end of this round. We're in round number 7, scheduled for 10. Davis taking command here in the 7th.
Come on, John. Come on, John.
It's funny, after that butt, you think Davis would be angry, and instead Lira has calmed down, and Davis is calm. It seems to have worked to Lira's advantage psychologically, Tim.
Short right hand landed from Lira. Right hand to the head from Lira scores.
Drop on him. Drop on him.
Davis scored the uppercut inside. We're under a minute to go in the 7th round.
Good combination by Davis. Buried a left hook underneath, came back on the chin, and another left hook.
Lira keeps coming forward. He has rallied well in the 7th round as Davis had the better of it in the opening portion of the round. But Davis still counterpunching well. Under 30 seconds to go.
Hands are free. Come on, bang your head. Come on.
Good short right hand from Davis.
Tim, this fight more than any other is showing Howard Davis what professional boxing is all about, and he looks like a pro in there. He's a different Davis. He's much tougher, punching a lot harder.
Only his 15th professional fight, which is easy to forget. He really hasn't had that much experience. But today's CBS Sports Spectacular will continue after this word from your local station. We are in round number 8. The scheduled 10-round lightweight bout. Johnny Lira on the left of your screen, Howard Davis on the right. Tim Ryan with Gil Clancy ringside in Lake Tahoe.
Tim, in Johnny Lira's corner, Johnny Taco, his trainer, told him, he says, he can't take that body beating much longer, but you have to throw punches, move those hands inside. And Howard Davis Sr. told Howard, he said, you won the last 2 rounds, but you can't let down now. Those were the instructions, Tim.
Well, we gave him the last 3 rounds on our card, but that doesn't count for anything. There are 3 judges doing the scoring. Good left. Up from underneath from Howard Davis.
Lira just said to him, come on, baby. And Davis came.
Landed the right hand. Lira mockingly pretending that he was hurt, but Davis is not bothered by that. He just comes in throwing more leather.
That's what they say, Tim. He's showing signs of becoming a real pro now, Davis. Fighting like a pro. Not running all over the place, keeping the guy in front of him where he can slip and punch. You notice the difference, Tim?
Yes, I do. This is a new maturity
Punch again. Don't stop.
by Howard Davis being displayed today. It's
Don't let him rest. Get right on it.
certainly perhaps an indication that he does want to continue seriously his boxing career. Continued speculation that he doesn't really care that much about fighting, but he did tell us before this one that he's not thinking retirement. He wants another shot at the title. He's got to get through this one yet. We're in the 8th round.
Come on, John. Make him push. Keep him busy. Keep him busy all the time. Keep him busy all the time, John. Keep him busy, John. Come on. Self back, Von. Come on, John. Come on.
Remember, time permitting, we'll be showing you highlights of the Matthew Saad Muhammad title defense of his WBC light heavyweight crown against Ladium Wall of Zambia. Under a minute to go here in the 8th round. Skiing fans, the weather closing things down at Val d'Isere today in the men's competition. We'll have highlights of that for you next week.
Johnny Taco is yelling for Lira to punch, punch. He's trying to muscle Davis, but he's forgetting to punch. He's becoming a wrestler. And meanwhile, Howard's throwing beautiful combinations.
Davis punching very well
There's
inside.
a best combination of the fight, Tim. Right hand underneath, left hook on the chin by Davis.
Lira looking tired now. He's got his mouth open more. He's leaning and hanging on, breathing heavily. Under 30 seconds to go, round 8.
Right now, Davis has this fight under control, Tim. It's going to take a big punch by Lira to get him back in this ball game.
Let's go, Jack. Let's go, Jack. Best in the world, baby.
Coming to the end now of round 8. Howard Davis has taken command of the fight. The scheduled 10-rounder. Howard Davis on the left of your screen. Johnny Lira of Chicago, who is, in our view, fallen behind over the last 4 rounds against the very confident Howard Davis.
He's getting more frustrated now, Tim. His punches are getting wider, and he's really throwing from the distance. He can get nailed with a big punch at any time. And meanwhile, the only way he can get back in the fight is if he gets lucky and nails Howard with a big one.
Come on, Jack.
Lira still trying on the attack, but Davis just seems to be much more confident as each minute has gone by in this fight.
Come on, man. Come on, John. Come on, John. Come on, John. He's wide open.
Now, Davis is making a miss, but when you make a guy miss, you're supposed to counter.
Dig it in. Dig it down. Dig, baby. Dig. Dig down. Step in on him,
Well, perhaps his confidence has fallen into a little bit of laziness here in the 9th round.
That's why you have cornermen, Tim, to wake him up.
Good pounding right by Lira to the body. What's impressed me about Davis is how well he's throwing those short punches inside.
Right, Lira's doing all the pushing, and he's doing all the punching.
Lira not really putting any power on those punches, just kind of leaning Davis in the corner. Davis hasn't been concerned about it at all.
Well, except that if he kept this up in a full round, he'd win the round. Davis
That's right.
might start getting concerned.
Howard just do a little resting in there. Now finally referee Mills Lane gets them apart.
It's about time for Davis to take over again now, Tim.
Under a minute to go in the 9th round.
Come on, John. I say, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, John. I know you look good, but come on.
Right uppercut from Davis. Again, a good short, sharp punch inside. Good combination.
Well, that's what we said. When you make a guy miss, you have to hit him.
Come on, baby. Same way. Same way.
Under 30 seconds to go in this 9th round. Oh, good short right again
That
from
was
Davis.
Davis's best right hand in the fight. Best right hand.
Well, he really laid out that one. This is the final round of this 10-round lightweight bout. Howard Davis on the left of your screen, Johnny Lira. The white trunks with red trim, and Bill, the way we see it at least, he needs a knockout to win, Lira.
Well, in his corner, he asked his trainer, Johnny Taco, he said, is it close? So Taco says, you have to kind of keep him on the ropes for 3 minutes. He says, I'm punch. He says, run him out of the ring, and you can still win the fight. I don't believe that's the case. I believe he has to score a knockout to win.
Well, that's the way I see it, too. Got Howard Davis having won the last 5 rounds, the way we see it. But Lira making a great last-ditch effort, but he's getting terrific counter-punching from Davis.
Well, Tim, you know, we've been fooled before by decisions.
That's right. Our view does not count for a thing here, but just trying to give you an idea of how we see it. Lira people may be right. Howard Davis, as we see it, has been in command since the 5th round.
Well, Lira is very, very tired right now, Tim. He doesn't have too much legs under him. The best thing he can do is lean on Davis. If Davis gets him in the center of the ring, he just picks him apart.
Well, Johnny Lira hasn't quit trying since this fight began.
We knew that, Tim. We knew he's a tough kid. We mentioned in the beginning, Davis is going to have to beat him. He's not going to beat himself.
Lira's lost only once in 21 fights, and that to the former WBA champion Ernesto España. Davis once beaten, also in a title fight. The WBC champion Jim Watt. A little redness on the face and a little blood from the nose of Johnny Lira. Neither fighter has been damaged in this fight, although Gil and I both feel that Howard probably got some sore ribs, as Johnny Lira predicted he would have.
And now Lira has a sore nose, bleeding from the nose.
Under a minute to go in the final round, and another good combination from Davis. Flat-footed 1-2. Oh, and a good right hand, catching Lira coming in.
Doesn't have a leg under him, Tim. It's going to take heart and luck to keep him in there for the final bell.
Good left landed from Davis. Davis a good right hand and another. He rocked Lira with that. Lira gallantly staying on his feet. Davis,
look at that hand speed on Davis, Tim.
Really pounding away and scoring those combinations. Under 30 seconds to go in the fight. These two young men putting on quite a show.
Right now, it's one young man putting on quite a show. Howard Davis.
Davis throwing a lot of punches here in this final round, and that's it. It's all over. And Howard Davis raising his hands. He thinks he's the victor, and he's a tired young man as he slumped to his knees. And we'll await the decision. Here comes Johnny Lira over to congratulate Howard Davis Sr. And these two young men put on quite a show. And so that's the end of the fight. We'll have a decision in just a moment. We are back at Caesars Tahoe at Lake Tahoe, Nevada. And let's go to Jack Casillo, the ring announcer, for the decision.
Dwayne Ford reads it 98-92 Davis. Judge Jimmy Olivas reads it 97-91 Davis. Judge John McSweeney reads it 97-94. Winner by unanimous decision, Howard Davis.
Well, there you have it, a unanimous decision for Howard Davis. All three judges on the 10-point must system seeing it that way, and an impressive performance for Howard Davis. Perhaps a new maturity being displayed, Gil. I think when we look back on the fight, that's what we found ourselves remarking on in the later rounds, that he is very much now a professional.
Well, that's the way I found it, Tim. You know, all that movement side to side when you're 20 miles away from the guy doesn't mean a thing. A professional boxer stays where he can always touch the other fella, tries to make a miss so he can counter.
Here's some of the action from that 10th round, and Howard Davis throwing as many punches in the 10th as he did in the first. In fact, even more for that matter. He showed that he's in great condition and showed his stamina against a rough, tough guy who gave us the kind of fight we expected from Johnny Lira, who was a trier all the way. Indeed, tried a little too hard with a headbutt about the 8th round. Now we've got Howard Davis joining us here, and let's turn you around a little bit here, Howard, so we can get you to this camera here, right behind you. Howard, certainly what Gil and I have been talking about most over the last 5 rounds is what we see as maybe a new maturity as a professional. Did you train any differently for this fight, or was it the fact that what you learned in the Watt fight?
Well, my father and I have been going over body punches a lot through this fight. We figured we'd get him in the later rounds by throwing a lot of body punches. I started throwing body punches around the 5th, 6th round. He started really wearing down right off the round. It was noticeable.
You thought you might knock him out. That was your prediction, 5 or 6 rounds and a lot of right hands.
Right. The right hands were a key factor to the fight, and I threw a lot of right hands, and he ran into a lot of. I knew he would come at me, and it was just a matter of timing and preparing myself to throw the right hand.
Gil?
But Howard, what I noticed especially was a new maturity. you weren't really moving as much as you used to move, which a lot of that movement I thought was unnecessary. In this fight, you were standing there, you were able to make the guy miss and really counter with good hard punches.
I do agree with you to some degree, Gil, but most of it was the altitude here. I didn't really feel like moving around as much as I wanted to, and altitude here is very thin, and then I'm still trying to get used to it.
Howard, believe me, the altitude then helped you, because I think it changed your style a little bit, and I think for the better.
Maybe so.
I think you should really look at these films, Howard. We may have a new Howard Davis altogether.
Yeah, maybe. I'm punching. I feel a lot stronger. I came in a little heavier for this fight. I came in almost 135. For my previous fights, I've been coming in lighter, 132, 133.
Are your ribs sore?
Huh? No, not at all. I did a lot of sit-ups for this.
All right, now what's next? You want a title shot immediately or perhaps another fight?
I want what? That's my only loss, and I want to get it back.